excited to be here with fitness expert Nikki Kimbrough.
Yay!
Get fit with Nick, girl.
Hey, Kristen. How you doing?
I'm so good. How are you, Nikki?
I'm great.
I'm so honored to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Nikki, you are so many things, girl. You're an actress, you're a singer, but you're a fitness expert.
Yes.
How did you get into fitness?
It was almost like I fell into it, Kristen. Honestly, to make a long story short, I moved to New York to be in The Lion King. I was in the Lion King workshop chorus. I was supposed to go to Germany to do the Lion King, the cover Shinzi the hyena.
Wow.
And there was a hiring freeze. And at the point, I was like, okay, I need a job. I got offered a job with the WNBA. I interned for them when I was in grad school. But I was like, no, I don't want a 9. I don't want, if I go on the PR job, it's going to take all my time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my best friend's boyfriend at the time said, isn't Nikki a trainer? I got certified to be a personal trainer when I was in grad school. And I was like, yeah, I'm a trainer. Yeah. So I ended up working at Bally Total Fitness back in the day when Bally was,
When Bally was hot, we were all there.
Bally was the gym back then. And 3 weeks into me being a trainer, the head of Bally PR, the VP of PR, came from Chicago, and they were looking for a fourth spokesperson. They were looking for an African-American female. And my master's degree is in public relations. And so it kind of went hand in hand. I went in, I passed the interview, and for 6 months, I was just a local spokesperson. Then one of the spokespeople couldn't do a CNN and a Fox segment. They said, let's try Nikki. And then all of a sudden, I ended up moving in to be a national spokesperson for Bally Total Fitness for 6.5 years. And fitness took over my life. It was great. It was so fitting because I went to school on a track scholarship. I ran professionally for a couple of years. And so it was like all my loves were coming together. I love to help people. There was fitness. And then the fitness expert part of it being on television, it had the acting part. So it was great. It's been amazing.
You're such a natural.
Thank you.
You're such a natural.
Right.
I mean, but both of it, because you need for your fitness expert to be excited and upbeat, and you've got all of that.
Thank you.
What is it about fitness that you're passionate about?
I love helping people. I love not only just helping people, I love encouraging them. I'm showing people how to do things correctly. Also letting people know that fitness is a journey. It's not just about going to the gym and doing some squats and some lunges. Of course, we have to do that. But I love putting it all together.
Yeah.
I love being a part of people's journey, helping them, showing them which way to go. And that, it encompasses everything, your mind, your body, and your soul.
And it really is a journey.
It really is a journey, yeah.
One of those things, I think about the journey, for some people, it's so intimidating.
Yeah.
Why is it so intimidating?
Because a lot of times people think, I gotta go to the gym and I don't know what to do and all that good stuff. And I always tell people, get a trainer. Get a trainer. If you can't get a trainer, take a class. Take some fun class. It could be Zumba, something you enjoy. It can be a sculpting class because those people would teach you how to do things correctly.
Yeah.
Or get a buddy, get a partner, go for walks, do things that you enjoy.
When you break it down there, then it does take away some of the intimidation. Because when I think about it, I'm like, it's just the treadmill, it's the barbell, it's all these things, and all I'm trying to do is lose a little weight, firm up here a little bit, but I have to think of all those things before I even start.
Right. Just always get help. And I always tell people, if you want to do it by yourself, think cardio, strength training, and nutrition. You got to have all three. Think about getting on cardio at least 30 minutes. With your strength training, you can do some type of workout. Like I said, get a trainer, take a class if you don't know how to do things. You want to make sure you're doing it correctly. And then the nutrition part.
Yeah.
I know we'll talk about that.
Yes. Would you recommend YouTube nowadays?
YouTube is great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many great fitness experts out there. There's so much great information. If you go to YouTube and you just type in what means to you, something specific, so many things that come up. And most of the things that are on YouTube are positive. They're great. And you can always go to getfitwithnick.com.
All right, y'all heard that. Getfitwithnick.com. Yes, ma'am.
You always do that. But yeah, that's what I suggest.
How important really is fitness to our everyday life? Being fit. Total life fitness.
Total life fitness is so important. I've learned from myself that not only being fit is going to the gym, and of course, like I said, cardio, strength training, nutrition. It's also when you do those things, you're giving back to yourself. You're putting back into yourself. That's a part of fitness too, putting back into yourself. So remember, when you're doing these three things, cardio, strength, nutrition. You're giving back to yourself. And that's what fitness is all about. Yeah. Remember, we're not going to be young for long. As you get older, you're able to go up the steps. You're able to do things. You're able to play with your kids. You're able to reach up, little things that you take for granted. When you have your body when wellness is a part of your everyday life, you notice those little things don't become challenging in the end.
Yeah. Can fitness save your life?
Fitness can definitely save your life. About 3 years ago, my boyfriend, the love of my life, was in an awful motorcycle accident. And in the process of the accident, it was just an awful accident. And as a result, he ended up getting his leg amputated in order to save his life.
Wow.
He lost 85% of his blood as a result of the accident. And two things the doctor says. He says that my boyfriend survived. Number one, the man upstairs wasn't ready for him to go. And number two, he was in such phenomenal shape. He was so healthy that his body was able to handle the shock. So one of the reasons he's alive today is because he was fit. He was in shape. And that helped save his life.
You hardly think that fitness can take you that far. Hardly. But that's what helped him to recover?
Yeah, it helped him. It saved his life and also helped him to recover because Billy was able to bounce back. He was able to bounce back so quickly just because he was in shape. When he went to rehab, his, muscle memory is great. And also, because he was in such great shape, he had that mindset, that determination that, I can do this, all the things.
And that's that total life fitness.
Yeah.
That's a fit mind, a fit spirit. That's everything.
Everything.
What about you? What has fitness done in Nikki's life?
When my boyfriend had his accident, it was the first time my fitness life altered. I became a comfort eater. I became a stress eater. Because I had to be in charge of everything. So I ended up turning to food. I was in the hospital for 3.5, 4 months. So those croissants turned into donuts, those creamy, cheesy soups, stuff that I didn't really eat, maybe on a cheat meal or something.
Yeah.
And I call myself a real person. I always say personal trainers are real people too. I gained 30 pounds. I gained 13 pounds. And
how did that change your life?
It was
for someone
crazy.
Who's always been fit.
I didn't even realize it till in the fall. I went to go put my jeans on, and I was like, "Wait a minute, these 7 jeans don't fit anymore." I was like, "Wait a minute," and I looked in the mirror, and I couldn't even believe it. And I just really looked at my life and was like, "Oh my gosh, I had to practice what I preach. I had to practice what I preach." But the great thing about it made me a better trainer. I have more empathy for my clients. I know what it feels like now. When someone comes to me and says, "Nikki, I'm stressed, I'm eating, I'm a comfort eater." I know what it feels like to want to get from point A to point B, but we allow our outside problems we allow life to get in the way. And so now, from a personal experience, I know how to help my clients. I have more empathy. Back in the day, when I was in this great, perfect shape, I would look at my clients like, "Girl, why are you eating? Shut it down. What you doing?" But
and
now,
not really being able to understand why they just didn't have the discipline.
Exactly.
Wow.
Life gets in the way.
You became a real person. I like the way you put that.
Personal trainers are real people too.
Real people.
Is what I say.
What is life balance for you?
It took a tragedy to slow me down. It took almost my boyfriend, the man that I love, losing his life to realize all the things I'm like, "Oh, this, that." It's not that deep, That's what's important to me, my family. God is important to me first, and, my family, and then, of course, myself and my goals. And so every day I think about the things that are important to me. I thank God in the morning. And then I go out there and I do it. I set my realistic goals. I used to be, I want to do this, I want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me set realistic goals. I create those steps and those milestones to get those goals. So everything I tell my friends, I tell my clients, I'm now learning, you know what? It works. It works. So instead of me reinventing the wheel, how about I do what I tell other people to do? How about I practice what I preach?
Nikki, I have enjoyed our conversation so much, and we have to continue this conversation about achieving life balance. That's what we're going to do on our panel. We're going to bring one other person on who is an expert on wellness, and we're going to continue this conversation. Whew. We are back and on the road to achieving total life fitness. And Nikki Kimbrough, fitness expert, is back to join us. And now we have wellness expert, mom, singer, actress, Miss Pilin, Anise Pilin. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so, girl, we are revved up. We are revved up. That's all I can say about this. And so it's so good to have your energy and your spirit here. Tell us how you got into wellness.
Into wellness. So my journey to wellness, I would say, started when I was in college. I have a dance background. So in college, obviously, as a dancer, you have to be very mindful of what you're eating and how you're putting out and how you're living, basically. So for me, changing my diet, not eating pizza when I was in college, having to eat healthy foods, so that I was able to perform optimally on stage was important. So I started, becoming very conscious of what I was eating then, and I transferred to a vegetarian diet when I was actually in college, which is kind of unusual, right?
In college,
yeah. So I was the one like, no, I'm not going to have a shot, it was just, which is different. Yeah. But so then when I became, after I graduated college, I started to have a little bit of problems with cysts, and also I was getting sick ear infections a lot. So I ended up going completely plant-based diet, so eliminating dairy from my diet, which was a huge step and very difficult for a lot of us to do, because I was eating probably a pint of ice cream a day. I loved ice cream, it was my favorite, but I had to let it go because it wasn't serving me for my body type, and I wasn't healthy because of it. So that was really my first journey, and then of course living that lifestyle of eating healthy and of course taking care of my body physically with exercise. I wanted to help other people make the same changes, so I went on to become a holistic health coach in a nutrition school, and now that's what I do is kind of guide people on their own personal journey.
That is amazing. That's what it looks like to live well, eat well, and then give birth well.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like. That's phenomenal, though, because a lot of people want to know what that looks like, that's real.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just something you read in the books, but you are a real human being who follows this, that regimen.
Right.
So, I mean, is there anything that you missed or that you do miss when you were changing your diet or things like that? I mean, that's a tough thing to do.
Once you start to incorporate changes in your diet, it becomes easier.
Yeah.
So, if you have a sugar addiction, for instance, say you're always eating sweets, if you start eating healthy greens, what you do is you start to change your palate, and then you'll find that, okay, I didn't have a cupcake today or this week. And you're like, I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm going to go have my green smoothie. And I think that's wonderful. I think a lot of people are becoming more conscious of that.
Yeah.
And people are incorporating these wonderful wellness techniques in their diet, such as having green smoothies. It's becoming like popular. Like, you didn't have your green drink today?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, what's wrong with you? So I think it's really great. And before, you weren't seeing that.
Right.
It was kind of, I was the one with the green shake back in 2000. People were like, what are you drinking? Oh, my goodness. But now it's commonplace, and I love that.
Yeah. No, and it is. It's more acceptable, so people feel like this is a way to live your life. Okay, so let me put my business out there. I have been meatless for 10 weeks now. And I'm reluctant to call myself a vegetarian because it was sort of an experiment that was accidental, and now it's become intentional, but it didn't start that way. I just begun pulling meat out of my diet. And when I say pulling meat out of my diet, I mean, let's say if I was 5 days a week, which I wasn't, I went to 3, and then to 2, and then to 1. And then unfortunately, I got really sick. And so I wasn't able to eat solid foods. I wasn't eating solid foods. I was kind of just eating broth, and I just never re-entered meat in my diet. And it has made a big difference. Like, I can tell with my digestive system and things like that. And now with the green smoothies, there are so many things that make it a lot less intimidating. But what about the person who's trying to intentionally do it? Because it's different, like this was accidental, but there are people who really, want to, or like you said, Pilin, they need to change their diet. What steps would they take to do that?
I actually, with my clients, I always recommend easing into these transitions. I don't recommend ever going cold turkey because it's difficult, and you can actually shock your system. So it's easier to slowly start to integrate these new changes, whether it be eliminating meat, whether it's eliminating caffeine or sugar, than going cold turkey, because sometimes you can have a physical response that you weren't expecting, and it'll make it even more difficult when it's already challenging enough.
Yeah.
Changing your diet. So I actually recommend doing it slowly, always.
People want to now get involved in yoga or get involved in meditation. Why do you guys think that is?
I think the breath and being still, I think that's really important, especially in today's culture where we're always so engaged in our mobile devices.
Yeah.
We're always
Yeah.
outputting, but we're not taking time to go within. And that's what yoga offers. And people need that. And I think that's why it's so attractive.
Oh my gosh.
And it's great. It helps with that balance, you know, and giving back to yourself and putting back into yourself.
I love that you guys describe it that way. We're constantly putting out, but yoga, fitness, all these things are depositing back into us. It's filling us back up. We've been talking about total life fitness and achieving life balance. Pilin, wife, actress, mama, yoga, how do you achieve total life balance?
Oh, it's daily effort. It's daily effort.
It doesn't just happen.
It doesn't just happen. It's definitely mindful. And so for me, I've been noticing I've been dropping a few balls recently, but you know, that's okay. It's non-judgment. I think one of the hardest things, especially as moms or anyone who's busy, you can be very judgmental of yourself or beat up on yourself if you know, don't achieve everything that you're seeking to do in that moment. But for me, I'm not judgmental of myself. I say, okay, I forgot this appointment. I showed up on the wrong day. Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there next time. You know. Yeah. You know, I did the best I could, and I know that. And I think for me, it's just about setting a schedule. You know, making sure everyone's taken care of. Because for me, I think the big thing is with health and wellness is food and coming to the table as a family. Yeah. And for me, I prepare all the meals for my home, and that's huge.
That's
and it takes so much. But I think again, planning ahead. So I have my Sunday, and that's kind of when I come home on Sundays, I make sure I get everything done. I do my grocery shopping. I prepare meals for a few days so that's done, and I don't have to think about that, because that's really one of the biggest things that's really important to me is nourishing my family. And but I think planning ahead and making sure everything gets done and seeing it through is what works for me.
Planning it ahead. And Nikki was telling us about setting realistic goals.
Setting realistic goals, certainly. And you can't do everything, right?
Yeah, you can't do everything.
I love the grace you just gave yourself and all of us.
And I think being kind to ourselves is what we have to remember too. So thank you for that. I mean, that just made me
there.
Be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
We should start there. So Nikki, we're going to work out our core sitting right here, right? We're going to do something to work our core.
Yes. First things first, let's inhale, exhale, and take 3 in, 3 out, okay? So our core know, let's wake it up. Let's inhale, let it out. Good, inhale, let it out. Bring that stomach in, inhale, let it out. Now, I want us to put our hands right here. Let's just crunch it out, nice and easy. Crunch. You feel it? We're just crunching it out. Good. Crunch. Now I want us to hold it. Now let's pulse it out. Pulse it. Don't go far. Just pulse. Get in touch with those abs. Working the transverse abdominis. Good. Keep that chest up. Now let's work on our obliques a little bit, okay? We're going to twist. Just twist it out. Twist. Good. Twist. Good. Twist. We can make a workout. Just talking. Hey, girl, how's the baby? How's the home?
How's the home? The home just feels better with doing this.
Good. Now let's crunch it out one more time. Crunch. We can give ourselves
This is for my summertime fun?
Good. Summertime fun.
Beach
then we
season.
twist it out one more time. Twist it out. And what we just did, we worked on our transverse abdominis. You probably feel a little bit more in the upper region. And then also we're working out our obliques. And by doing this, we're also working our lower back, our
People
core
can do
area.
this at their desk.
Desk workout.
Desk
exercise.
workout.
With the positive controversy.
What y'all know about that desk workout that we just handed you, okay?
Yes.
That felt so good. Okay, and Pilin's going to show us to do something with our feet.
So with our feet, I always encourage my clients to do self-care. So how do you take care of yourself? So one way to do that is with our feet. Our feet carry us all over. They do so much for us. But do you give your feet time? Let's give our feet some time. So we're going to just pull your foot up. Pull one of your feet up. Just take one of your feet and just gently massage your foot. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It is.
Just sending love to yourself, honoring your steps.
Ooh.
It can become such a beautiful thing to do, a beautiful just exercise to just take some time in your day maybe when you come home, to just do a gentle self-massage.
How simple, but so intentional.
Yes.
But so
Honoring
intentional.
my steps.
Honoring your, I know.
Honoring your steps.
What?
Honoring your
Honoring my steps right now is what I'm doing by massaging my foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, now let's put that one down. We have to balance it out because we got 2 feet.
Yes.
So we go to the other one.
And honor those
honor those
steps.
feet. Yeah,
How
sending
precious
love.
is this?
It really
Honoring
is.
Steps.
And it's so small.
It's so small.
But it's
so
like
small.
it's such
but
a big
these small
deal.
things that you do to help you just feel better. You know,
I feel better
on your journey.
Already. And I don't have to wait on someone. I don't have to go to the nail salon for this. This is something I can just...
you can do for yourself. Mm-hmm.
I just loved how you said honoring your steps. It just gave it a different. It just gave it a different perspective.
Completely different. To honor my steps, that my steps matter, that
Your steps matter. Your journey is important.
I love it.
Wow. Wow. That's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Like, it's so good.
It's like it just brings a whole. It just brings a whole nother dynamic in the way you look at things.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
The energy is so good in here,
Yes,
y'all.
it
It's so good in here. So our last portion is the speed round. We always do the speed round. And that is where I'm going to say a word or say a phrase. And you two are going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. And you're going to stop when I say stop. So keep going until I say stop. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
The word that I'm going to give you guys is balance.
Tree pose,
Yeah. Clients.
motherhood,
Safety.
waist,
Home. Friends.
connected, grounded,
Love. Life. Surroundings. Honoring my steps.
That is so good. And I want to do that because balance means different things for different people. It doesn't, my balance doesn't necessarily look like someone else's, but we're all trying to achieve it. We know what life feels like when we're out of balance and everything's are out of whack. And it's good to even stop and be present and say, what really is balance? And now, what are the steps for me to get there? So thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you for helping us walk closer to achieving balance.
Sitting in your chair over there, you never said too much, always just enough. Maybe crack a smile or a laugh once in a while. Oh, Mr. Edwards, you're my shining light, my angel in the sky. Your love has gotten me through the hard times, Mr. Edwards. Your love means everything, and all your dreams for me are coming true. I just wish you were here so I could share them.